Hello, people that know how is doing. Today, I'm kind of going to speak the truth because three or four people have talked about this, and I know Gemma Doherty and Anti-Corruption Ireland and the Nationalist Party have talked about this for a long time. Open borders, mass migration, and this kind of ties into it. It's basically there was a survey done I think, last month, and it was said about the Irish people will be extinct. Well, not extinct. That's the word I shouldn't use. Sorry, my apologies for that. Will be a minority. That's the word they used in the one country. I suppose extinct it means the same thing, but it doesn't really matter. We're not an English channel. We're not an English teacher channel. Yeah. So what they mean by that is that there won't be any Irish people left. As we know, there's tons. There's many reasons for this too. It's mass migration is the first thing. Immigrants, refugees, if you like, coming into Ireland. Obviously, that's decreasing the Irish population. Another thing too is the Irish government, their lackness to show respect to people coming out of college, Irish people coming out of college, and which is forcing Irish people to go to Australia, New Zealand, Saudi Arabia to look for jobs and to for employment and for a better life because there's no life for them here in Ireland, and which is sadly true. And people who come from the Middle East out there uh, come into Ireland and they get treated better than the Irish people. Let's put it that way. But yes, but I have to say it will be true that the Irish will be a minority in about 12 years in their own country, which is very, very sad. And just to think that we had 8 million Irish people on this island before the famine. And when the famine started, everybody went off to America, to different places, and build up them countries. And I suppose you could still say the Irish are refugees. I suppose you could even use that word nowadays. But the thing about there's more Irish people in America than there is in Ireland itself, and there's more Irish people in Australia than there is in Ireland itself. And Ireland, the Irish people will be a minority. We have seen in areas in Ireland lackness of Irish people. We're not in Gaelic or Irish textbook, but I mean a tiny bit of, in my opinion, you need a tiny bit of people from the outside world along with Irish people to make a functioning democracy, to make a functioning society. But there's a certain line where you would not cross and take it in this many people, and the line should not go above that. But Ireland's taking in way too much, and there's literally no resources in the state to support them, to even support the Irish people. Like as we see now, there's 10,000 people homeless. They have abandoned houses around the whole country. The government seriously don't have any. By 2040, the government plan to take in another million people. And you look at the health service, and they can barely cope with the amount of people that's going into hospice. You can look at the prison service, they barely have enough place to put in prisoners. And if you look at the education system, it's collapsing around us. And you're going to throw in, like the way they're going at the moment, like we simply don't have the resources, and that's more or less what I'm saying to people. We are a country that's struggling at the moment in time with the people that we have, the Irish people that are left, and the people that's in this country already. We're struggling, and as simple as that, we're struggling. The government, there's no denying that we are struggling because the country's backwards. Let's put it that way. The country's gone backwards, and everything's just a mess. And that's with and taking more people, and it's not helping anything. It's not giving the housing crisis any. Like it's pushing the demand. Like it's one person said, too much demand leads to inflation, which is true, and it leads to prices going up if there's too much demand and not enough supply. They obviously the houses will go up. And it's sad. It's really, really sad. Like these people, I really have to. I know that some people be like, it's not our problem, which is true. That's true. The state, it's not our problem that there's civil wars in other countries or there's wars in other countries, but you have to feel sorry for the people that who are desperate. Like these people are desperate, who are looking for better lives in Europe. But seriously, Ireland is not a country to be looking for a better life, and because the people in Ireland are struggling to survive as it is. And it feels like we are in a civil war. It feels like we are in a civil war with our own government. And we're fighting over among ourselves and what should we do about this and what should we do about that. And this country's a mess, which is true, which is a true statement. That like we shouldn't be having this bad of homelessness. Like this is terrible how bad the homelessness crisis is now. 3,000 children homeless, and then you just fling in another. Like I think they said there's about 3 or 4 thousand people nearly a month, not a month, a week, from countries in the Middle East that they're coming into Ireland. Like I really don't mean any disrespect, but if the country was in fit and able condition to take in people and had spare houses and spare places for people, I wouldn't mind in taking in a few people, and I would tell the government that. Like it's no harm in taking in a few people, because you need that. In a democracy, you need to have a tiny bit of other people around. I suppose you could use that word, and some benefit the country, some don't benefit. That's the way the world works. Like we have to take, in my mind, we have to try and take it that in the community that we need to have as the Irish people, the native people of even in any country. Like say if it was Norway, for example, and there was the same issue that was happening in Norway, the Norwegian people should be in the top in the town. Let's say in Oslo, the Norwegian people should be on the top, and then you could have your Swedish people, your Swiss people, Netherlands, Dutch people, and Belgianese people, and those that you can have them underneath. Like, but in any country, the minority should be either, as I use that example of Norwegian, it should be the Norwegian, or if not in Ireland, it should be the Irish. But sadly, I don't mean to be sound racist or anything like that. I'm just really stating the truth that this country cannot deal with the amount of people that we're taking in, and even though the government won't stand up and say it, then I'm really saying it, that we literally can't, and I literally don't see me smiling about it or anything like that. Or even grinning about it. Like usually my videos always be positive, but I'm really just admitting the fact. But other channels are doing better, like Gemma Dot in the Nationalist Party in the West are doing better in talking about these issues than me, because they I suppose, I never really was on that political line, to be honest, of doing them things, and they know a tiny bit more than me. They wouldn't know more about globalism and that's that, but I wouldn't be that big into the globalist thing, and it's just like it's desperate. It's desperate what's happening in the world at the moment in time, but we have to put the people at the side of first, and then if we have room, I suppose, as I said, we could take in people. But as I said, there should be a minimum of people. Like it should not be too many people. Like because I wouldn't like as a minimum of people. What I mean by that is 3,000 or 4,000 a year. That's decent enough, and then I would just love to see the government at least do these schemes to bring back the Irish people from Saudi Arabia and New Zealand and Australia to improve the health service in the West End, to give them extra money, and then more people from that lived in Ireland for nearly half of their life and then had to move because they didn't have enough money to live in Ireland. I'd love to see them come back. But anyway, thank you for watching. Subscribe more. Good God, it's 8 minutes. My good God, sorry, my apologies. Thank you for watching. Subscribe home. Bye.